Faye, could you tell me how you became involved in hockey?
I became involved in hockey at school, primary school, Breakfast Creek State School, when a lady by the name of Eileen Greeley came and asked our head teacher could he teach us to play hockey. And I've been playing hockey with a couple of gaps in between ever since. I can't exactly remember when I finished playing hockey, but I played hockey for a long time.
And those clubs that you played for, how many of those clubs were there?
I've only ever played for 2 clubs. The first club I played for was a club called Neptunes, and I was at high school when I was playing for Neptunes, Division 1. They didn't call it Division 1 then, it was A grade, out at Marchant Park. And I played for them till just for a couple of years actually. Then I went out of Brisbane, came back about 5 years later, and by that time Neptunes had disappeared and Eileen had started Ascot Hockey Club, and that's a club that I've played for and been associated with ever since.
You've had a huge involvement not only in Ascot but also at Brisbane level. What can you tell me about that involvement?
I first got involved Brisbane-wise by going to Brisbane meetings as a delegate for Ascot, and my interest grew in doing more than that, and I did a number of jobs, different jobs, match secretary, then I was on the management, and then eventually I became secretary, and I was secretary for about 16 years, and I absolutely thrived on it. The hockey girls are just a wonderful group of people, and it was wonderful knowing you could go out to Downie Park on a Saturday and you met so many of your friends. They were friends from your club, friends from other clubs. It was just great.
You said 16 years, that's quite an achievement in any sport. You did that in 2 groups, I believe, 2 sessions. You, as you said, had a little break occasionally from Brisbane hockey?
I think I had a break of about 2 years in between, and Brisbane were a bit pushed to get another secretary, so I put my hand up again, and I was pleased I did. I really enjoyed it.
Being one secretary to another, can you tell me about how you did that job without the electric benefits we have of email and mobile phones?
Well, in those days, of course, we didn't have as many players. We didn't have the little minky players. And we all played at one place at Downie Park on a Saturday afternoon, and in those days people didn't have cars and they came out to hockey, and that was their day out. They stayed at hockey all afternoon, caught up with all their friends, and I don't envy the present people who have to administer hockey because it's played in so many different places around Brisbane, late at night, and so the fields are so far apart. I really don't know how they administer all that work and bring it all together so successfully.
Can I say from a selfish point of view, you were the longest serving secretary, but also you taught a lot of people how to be a good secretary. Did you have any role models when you were coming through?
Well, Eileen Greeley was Secretary of Brisbane for many years, and I guess I didn't particularly have a role model. No, I was trained as an office worker, a stenographer, and I enjoyed doing that sort of work, and I can't even remember who I became secretary after, to be quite honest, but it was just something I just fell into because I just loved dealing with the different clubs, and I could pick out the girls from different clubs who were really good secretaries and did a good job and made your job so much easier by doing a good job.
I know that you're still involved in hockey now. How often do you get up to Brisbane?
Unfortunately, nowhere near enough. I do try to come up for tournaments like the Veterans Tournament this weekend, and I'm still lucky enough that Brisbane invite me to come up and work in whatever capacity I'm able to. I always come up for the grand finals on the turf and the grass, and even though it's getting to the stage I don't know a lot of the players now, there's still a few old ones around that I see running around there. Sometimes it's up and down the spot, but never mind. And I certainly always come up to any functions that Ascot have, as I'm a life member there too. Yeah.
Your involvement with Hockey Queensland has been limited through your own choice, but you've also have done some jobs for them, and you've made wonderful friendships throughout Queensland. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I didn't ever feel the need to venture into Queensland, although I was a delegate for many years. I've just forgotten the centre that I was delegate for now, to be quite honest. I just didn't feel the need. I felt that I had everything I wanted in Brisbane hockey.
Well, being the biggest association, you probably did, and but I know across the state you're so well regarded, and there's still some of your friends, Mrs. Tidy, Mrs. Nix, that you go on hockey trips with and those sorts of things, Jan Ellis, the who's who of hockey in the last 50 years. Those friendships are things we keep forever, and is that something that hockey has brought to you?
Oh, very important to me. Very important to me, of the friends that I've made at hockey, you know, in good times and bad. They've been wonderful.
You had 2 daughters that played hockey. Would you like to tell us about them and what your family's involvement is in hockey now?
I've got 2 daughters who have played hockey. The one that lives in Canberra still plays hockey. She married a hockey man. They have 2 hockey children. They all play in Canberra. Unfortunately, my other daughter lives in country Victoria, and she hasn't continued on with her hockey.
Faye, thank you for coming, but I'd like to know, what do you think about the future in hockey in Brisbane and Australia?
Okay, well, I think they're doing very well as the way they're going, so I'd say just keep going the way you're going.
Thank you very much for giving us your time today. As I said, you're a legend as an administrator in my mind, and thank you for all your hard work that you've given to Brisbane women's hockey and to hockey in Queensland. We truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Kath.